Do you have a mailing list that you want to increase your per dollar revenue? Do you have a website that has traffic that you want to increase your conversions? I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefing's Copywriting Tips. I am updating my profits from secret quick performance measures. Basically, I have a program that I put together a couple years ago that is still relevant today. It's program AI4, and it's about how to optimize and measure the performance of your entire marketing system. Whether you do e-commerce, internet marketing, email marketing, direct mail, pay-per-click, there are certain universal measures that help you know what is your most profitable lead source. What offers are good primary offers? What offers are good upsells? I'm going to go through these things. I'm actually put together a list of 12 ways to optimize your marketing. This is kind of the essentials to optimize your marketing. And I hope to present this to you as a checklist of what you can do to increase your cash flow, to boost your list value. It's all about the lists. You've got to build those lists of customers, prospects, and such. And then, of course, deliver maximum value to your customers. Now, this is a little bit different philosophy. There's a couple different types of marketers out there. There's some marketers who just want to, extract as much as possible from a list because there are an unlimited supply of lists. You can rent lists, you can build lists, you can have your own in-house list. And sometimes when you're dealing with client lists, these lists are neglected. So we need to have ways to optimize the list, find buyers, and improve the quality of the interaction. But I measure that interaction like the long-lasting type of copywriter, the long-lasting type of marketer, which is the dollars I'm able to produce from a list. So how valuable is every name on that list? I believe that's a measure of my service to those individuals. If I'm offering a product that is worth 10 to 20 times, even 100 times the price that the customer would pay to invest in that product, then having a profitable service is a measure of the customer's interest. They don't buy things that they don't want time and time again. And so these measures are based on the service of customers, but also profitably delivering something of value so that they come back and pay, stay, and refer. So there are 12 items here. I'm going to go from the top of the list to the bottom of the list. Be sure you get out a piece of paper and take some notes. This will be reflected in my program AI4, and this has nothing to do with artificial intelligence. In fact, it's about the quick performance measures that you can use to determine whether your sales performance is going in the right direction, whether you're having bigger issues such as technical issues with your websites or with your customer service desk or anybody involved in receiving the sale. And these are informed on what we've done at Lilly and Vernon, Dominion Enterprises, a lot of large e-commerce platforms, also a lot of folks that have outside salespeople, so multi-channel sales. Maybe they're getting sales by direct mail. They have outside salespeople. They have value-added resellers. Complex channels. But again, these things are the 12 essentials, so they also work on just any old website. So let's get started. The first one we have here is to cultivate your lead sources. That means to have proper attribution for every inbound link, every partner, know where the source, medium, and campaign is for each lead. Now, in some systems, you can actually store the source and medium that you might use on your Google UTM tracking. And by the way, if some of this technology is different and you're not aware of it, just contact my office and ask your questions. I can go into details because remember, I focus on the technical aspects of direct response marketing. I write technical documents. I write sales copy for technical audiences. Don't worry, we understand how to make it work for you. But the key for you as a copywriter is you are working on a lead generation piece. You want to know that affiliate A versus affiliate B is bringing you quality leads. You want to know that website A versus website B is bringing you quality leads, and you do that through the Google UTM tracking code. Now, if you're not using Google Analytics, other platforms have similar coding, and this coding goes on the URL in which your prospect will click on, and then it is embedded in the form on the landing page so that it can be stored with the contact record in your marketing automation system. And as you'll see, the marketing automation is critically important here because we want to make sure that marketing automation is working for you, that it's tracking these details that are necessary to make good decisions for your marketing and your sales. I want to see that you got a single maintenance funnel. Now, this can be a prospect newsletter. This could be that anything that sets up that first initial purchase. It might be the downsell for all of your high ticket offers, but it's basically kind of a drip campaign. Now, what this does, it's very powerful. You can do this as postcards, you can do this as email, you can do this as a series of letters, but if you've got a drip letter that's going out every week and it's setting up that first purchase, and this drip letter goes to prospects, people who have not yet bought your product or service, and it's automated, and you can see what the open rates are, and you can see what the click-through rates are, and you can see what the uptake rate is. You can basically keep adding to this series and then removing the items that are below performance. So what would end up happening is you keep the best performing follow-up letters, and then you would fix the rest. So at the end of a month, at the end of a year, at the end of the quarter, you can say, I've sent 5 messages to these prospects, and these prospects haven't bought anything. They haven't moved forward on their journey to get the solutions that we offer. And you might say, well, these people move forward. What's unique about them? Why did they not move forward on the first offer, which was the high ticket, but they move forward on this lower ticket item? What can we do to upsell them, to move them up? See, again, this is about having systems in place, and your prospect newsletter or your single touch point or your follow-up solo mail for some generic offer. It could be a consultation. It could be an entry-level product. Anything. Could be just replying with a question. That's going to help you start to understand who is on your list, understand what motivates on the people on your list, and can start their purchase journey with your organization. Number 3, this is an optimization technique that works incredibly well, and if you have enough traffic, it's magic. And in fact, if you have a lot of traffic, you want to remove the tracking pixels off of the general public website and only have tracking pixels after an audience action. And I'll tell you why that's important here shortly. But you want to have it on the lead confirmation page or a thank you page, because what this is going to tell you is someone post opt-in or someone post purchase, and now your audience segmentation on your pay-per-click networks or on your social media networks is now focused on people who take action rather than people just randomly came across your website for some reason. Can you see how powerful this is? By moving the tracking pixels to confirmation pages, and by the way, I'm giving you all the secrets because remember, I transcribe these podcasts and put them in special reports and training programs, and when I sit down with clients, this is the material that we use with them, so why don't I just give it to you up front? There are 12 things here. You're going to find something of value. But again, when we move the tracking pixel to the confirmation page, we're now measuring people who took action. So you can have one tracking pixel on the people who took an opt-in action, and you can have another tracking pixel on the people who took a sales action. Now, these don't have to be segmented per product group or anything like that. It's just another way to identify the people who will become a lead and the people who will buy product. And what this does for you is it gives you a little bit more granularity on your pay-per-click campaigns. It gives you better optimization on both the money you spend, but boosts your ROI. Next, number 4, we're going to integrate our e-commerce and analytics. We want to know what contributes to sales, what's the revenue per lead, what's the results of every campaign, and we want the system to keep track of it for us. Now, if you're sending a postcard campaign and you have your URLs coded, maybe they're personal URLs so you know which person clicks which postcard link. They're not really clicking. They're going to type it in. So you're going to use a URL shortener. And within that shortener, you can hide a whole bunch of stuff that tracks things. But again, when they go to the website and they opt in, you want to know that they opted in. But more importantly, you want to make sure that that automation, that integration is straight from opt-in all the way through to purchase. Now, here's the challenge today. Most people are using multiple devices to access your website. So the same person who joined your email list yesterday with a browser on their desktop may be reading your email with a mobile phone. And then tomorrow they're on a tablet purchasing a product. we want to make sure that the tracking of cookies and behavior is consistent throughout that entire channel. Now, in some cases, it's as easy as having a login page. So their opt-in is actually a user account. And now when they visit your site, they log in to see premium content. And then after they've logged in, there are more purchase options available. Or maybe they log in before checkout. And then that takes their email address from the original opt-in all the way through to the purchase. And you're using the email address as a key. Now remember, if you're not technical, that's okay. If you just want to write the copy and you want to have my team take care of the technical side and you want to have my team take care of the integration and my team to set up your marketing automation, perfectly fine. That's something that I white label to many of my clients and subscribers here. But ultimately, you have to know from beginning to end. Now, if that individual has used a different email address to opt in and a different email address to purchase on your CRM system or your marketing automation platform, you've got to make sure that you've got a dedupe routine so that you can associate both email addresses with the customer account. Now, this is easiest to be done from the customer perspective at the where you're going to ship a product or you're going to fulfill a product going backwards. So we want to make sure that when someone purchases that you can find them in the other systems and flag them by what segment they're in, what audience they're in, what group they're in. And sometimes you have to do that manually. But once you've got that understanding of how your system works, you can actually feed that email address to Google Analytics. You can cookie them with Google Analytics. You can have your email automation, even if it's a different platform, flag people and then inform your CRM system. But again, you need to know, where did this buyer opt in? Where did this buyer go? And what did this buyer do before they purchased? Because we can now then replicate that journey. And if you have the cookies in place, you have the pixels in place, then we can even target segment to get more customers like them. It is almost magic. But there's another factor that we can do here, number 5, which is refresh our list demographics. Now, this is very important. A lot of these tools are going to give you different information. If you send visitors to a YouTube video, they're going to get more videos of yours suggested to them. YouTube is going to show you certain demographics, maybe what kinds of videos they watch. And that's going to be completely different than the demographics that you're going to get on Google Analytics. So you want to send them to your website and get them tagged with the Google Analytics. You might have a list that you've gathered from multiple sources and you're getting ready to do a big Facebook campaign, and you know that not all these people have been on Facebook under the and associated with your account. So now you're going to send an email out to them that has them go out and check out a feature that you just did on Facebook for the sole purpose of cookieing those people on the Facebook platform to build an audience, so that now when you do a pay-per-click campaign, it better represents a segment of your list. So this can be, when you're refreshing your list demographics, this can be deliberately giving your audience a free gift or some kind of customer care campaign that recookies them on your own platform or some other platform where you're doing marketing. And then this allows you to run the subscribers that you already have through your analytics system so that you have a better picture of who these customers are. This, in some cases, could be putting a pixel in your email automation tool. But this better helps you understand who these people are, but it can also help you segment your list by buyers, by inquirers, and by prospects. And this is very powerful. So this demographics refresh might be only sent to your recent buyers, your hotline names, people who bought in the last 15 to 28 days, and it goes to a social media channel because you're going to buy ads on that social media channel and send them back. It is a huge mistake, and I see it all the time, where companies will be hiring an agency. They're paying $15,000, $20,000 a month for lead generation campaigns from an agency. They can convert these things regularly, but that agency doesn't know anything about your customers. They're kind of guessing. And imagine how powerful it could be is that when every person who makes a purchase was feeding an algorithm and helping with the targeting of your ads so that you were able to reach more people like the people who buy, sell, and connect with what it is that you offer. So number 6 is actually how you structure your website. So you can, even if you have a third-party vendor doing the work, you can actually structure your website so you can see who are prospects, who are inquiries, and who are buyers. Now, you can do this with some of the tips that we mentioned earlier, and many of these essentials layer on top of each other. So maybe you find 2 or 3 things that you want to implement. Well, that's good, but if you can implement all of them over time, it's even better because you're going to dial in to those buyers. You're going to really zero in on the people who can do business with you. But in way number 6, you're actually structuring the website so that you know the people going to public pages are just suspects. But people who opt into your free newsletter are now inquiries. Now, they're not good inquiries, so they're more prospects because they haven't asked for something specific. But when after they're opt-in as a newsletter person, then you start making them specific offers and make them opt-in again. And now you can even start structuring across multiple email providers, for example, because some email providers don't let you send affiliate links. Some email providers get squirmish with certain types of offers. But now, because they're opting back in again, now you have an inquiry that asks for a specific piece of information, and then when you have high ticket offers or you have large volume offers, you can now start dialing into these particular lists. But more importantly, you can have your buyers go to certain areas of the website. So on the Ad Briefings Copywriting Tips newsletter, the folks who log in to see premium content is a different person than somebody who only looks at the podcast show notes. So the structure of the website itself helps you segment traffic behavior, helps you build lists, and also helps you to target with market automation. Because here's what's powerful. Let's say you put a pixel in your private membership site, and now that's tied to your marketing automation, and somebody who's logged in twice in a day now gets a special note that either reinforces the behavior of frequently using the site or makes a specific offer. So I'll give you a little inside baseball here. When you go to specific courses so you've paid for a membership, you get premium content, and now you're going to these particular courses, I am cooking you to know which courses you're interested in. So if you go to a course that's on performance measures, I know to send you more performance measure content. I'm not sitting around waiting for you to click on something, but my CRM system does that for me. So I can go in my database and I can say, show me the people who have checked out performance measure related content, and I want to send them an offer. And now you can start getting better use from your list because of the structure of your website. I can essentially pull out who's been to courses, who's been to free materials, who's been to paid materials, and then I can basically target my market there. Because what I also have on the back end, and what I do for many of my clients, is number 7, is we map out performance metrics. I want to know who is the typical cost per lead, and of those individuals who have not purchased. So I'm going to know my cost per lead for people who have purchased, and I'm going to know my cost per lead for people who have not purchased. Now, again, I know a lot of you guys are scratching your head. You're ready to bail out of the podcast because a lot of these things are foreign to you. You just want to write copy. You want to be creative. That's okay. That's why people like me are out here that are hardcore database marketers, hardcore direct response marketers who can squeeze every dollar out of a list while making the customers extremely happy, making the people on that list excited to share your information, to connect with new people, to show up at high-ticket masterminds or show up at longer contracts and bigger sales opportunities. But again, those performance measures are going to help you do it. You want to know the cost per sale. You want to know the profit per sale. You want to know the revenue per name. You want to know customer lifetime value. You want to know return on investment. And you want to know all these things by segment or by behavioral condition or by time on the list. Now, again, today it's so much easier than it has ever been, and this can be set up for you, and then you can go into your list. Even Aweber lets you go into the list and say, show me active people who have actually opened up the email message. If you're using Aweber or HubSpot or Salesforce or Active Campaigns or Infusionsoft, Keep, you can actually automate that to know. And this is something you have to understand. If you have Aweber, for example, and you get an opt-in, and that opt-in is being syndicated over or synced over to your main CRM system. Now you have their email address in 2 locations. And you might think, well, that seems repetitive, but 2 is 1, 1 is none. If your email provider gets shut down, you're still going to have your name somewhere. But if you haven't contacted these people in your marketing automation system, then you don't have precedence to contact them. For example, maybe you don't have a privacy policy, and now you haven't explicitly got permission, and now one of your hosting providers shuts down your site, then you end up with a giant list you can't do anything with. And the canned spam fines, and there's a lot of other fines for different countries, could be up to $500 per violation. So if you've got an email list of 200,000 names and you end up with 50,000 violations, that's a really bad campaign. It doesn't matter how profitable that list is because you didn't have it set up the right way. So when you map out performance metrics, it can be facilitated by having multiple systems in place, and it can be facilitated by contacting these people by multiple channels. And then if all the channels come together and give you the baseline performance metrics, now you can say, okay, I'm getting better deliverability on this platform. I'm getting better sales conversions on this platform. What's wrong with the other platform? See, now you know something. You're not wondering. You're not guessing. And I'm only on number 7, by the way, right here. I'm going to have, we're kind of at time. So what I'm going to do for the rest of these 12 items, you can contact my office at www.adbriefings.co.uk. Go to the contact page, ask about Marketing Optimization Essentials, Program AI4. And I'm going to go ahead and stop here, and I'm on number 7, but I'm going to cover number 8, number 9, number 10, I'm going to cover the other ones in a second podcast. So I want you to come back to the podcast. If you're not subscribed, you want to make sure you subscribe. But again, if you don't see the second half of this, go ahead and contact me at the website at www.adbriefings.co.uk. I just have a sense that you're going to want to re-listen to this podcast because I'm dropping a lot of essentials, a lot of things that you can implement right now, better understand your list. Better demographics means highly targeted sales campaigns. When you can split a list of 50,000 names into cells of 5,000 units, and then you can A/B split, you can go from 0 to big money off of these lists. You can help your clients get great results. But again, I want it to deliver a checklist, and I want it to be bite-sized, and I want it to be something you're going to be able to use. So again, if you have any questions, I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefings Copywriting Tips. I hope you listen to this multiple times. We only made it to number 7, but again, I'm going to, right after this, I'll record the next section, put it in the schedule, and these are the 12 ways to get more sales, to increase your list value, to boost your cash flow, and to really know that you're serving your customers. Because when your customers perform predictively, it means you understand their needs, desires, and wants, and then you're going to be able to produce for yourself or clients offers that really make a difference, that really snap. You're going to have more predictability. You're going to have better results. Again, I'm Justin Hitt with Ad Briefings Copywriting Tips. Contact with your questions, like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the next second part 2 of this series. Thanks for listening.